Now, geographers often remind us that there is no such thing as natural disaster. It's not the storm alone that causes the tragedy, but the human decisions surrounding it. Now, this weekend, flash floods in Texas Hill County left dozens dead, many of them children. And experts say that this was a preventable tragedy. Texas Hill County is known for it's known as Flash Flood Alley. Its geography can be described as having thin soils, steep cliffs, and narrow creeks. This makes it especially vulnerable to sudden, intense flash floods. When heavy rains hit, the water has nowhere to go but up, and fast.
Flash flooding can happen very quickly. Many times survivors talk about how quickly the water rose, and we see from the observations along the Guadalupe River that this river, which is typically moving very slowly and might only be 3 feet in its water level at a particular location, rose quickly within an hour to a raging torrent of 30 feet of water that was 30 feet high. And that just well outside of its typical banks. That shows how quickly a life-threatening situation like this can escalate, and why it's so important to take immediate action when flash flood warnings are issued.
Now, early on July 4th, gauges showed that Guadalupe River rising by a foot every 5 minutes. By sunrise, the river had surged more than 20 feet. Campers in the area were largely unaware. Phones were banned at some camps. Cell coverage was spotty, and many were still asleep when the flood struck.
Notice the time difference between these flash flood warnings that were issued and the peak of the flash flooding that occurred in the Hunt, Texas area around 4:30 Central Time. There were several hours of advance notice, ample time for people to move to higher ground and for the local officials to take action in order to move people to safe areas. And so the question is, now that the warnings were there, the question now is what did local officials and the people that were responsible for safety at the camps, what action plans did they have for handling flash flooding, and what actions did they take?
Now, hydrologists say we need to shift from simply predicting rain to forecasting how rivers will respond to that rain. And with more intense storms fueled by climate change, that shift is becoming urgent. A new study finds that the extreme rainfall leading to the Texas floods was not just bad luck, it was amplified by climate change. Scientists say we need to adapt to this new reality and ensure weather services have the funding and tools to keep people safe. But even the best forecast is useless if warnings don't reach those in danger. In Kerr County, where many summer camps are located, officials have debated installing flood sirens and alert systems for years, and unfortunately, nothing has happened. In 2016, they dismissed the idea of it as extravagant. In 2021, they balked again, concerned about accepting federal funds under the Biden administration. Now, a San Antonio mother is calling for action. Now, Nicole Wilson, who newly sent her daughters to one of the affected camps, has launched a petition urging Governor Greg Abbott to approve a modern flood warning system. In her words, 5 minutes of that siren going off could have saved every single one of those children.